Megan Dawson. I'm the boys' pediatrician. As you know, Mrs. Robinson was born deaf but received a cochlear implant as a child, while her husband is deaf but chooses to use sign. Mrs. Robinson came to me concerned about the boys' delay in speech and wants to know her options that she can include in their daily routine that could help or assist the boys in learning speech easier. Now, I understand this is a rare case because usually we're dealing with hearing adults with deaf children. What are some suggestions for the Robinson family?
Well, first, I think we should talk about the mother's cochlear implant, because even though she is deaf and the father is also deaf, she does have intelligible speech because of her implant. So the implant goes in, it's a surgical procedure that requires a lot of therapy afterwards, but they're able to put an electrode array on the cochlea that gives her access to sound that she wouldn't otherwise have. So with that, she has access to speech, access to sound, and it doesn't sound exactly the same as it does when it's normal hearing, but that is something that she can use to communicate orally or through simultaneous communication with her voice. So we should maybe push for the mom to use more oral communication with them, because right now she's only using sign. So that's an option.
I'm Summer Dudley, the early interventionist. The boys have a speech delay, not a communication delay, or not a language delay. So ASL is not hindering their language development. However, the boys are missing vital milestones for speech development because their parents are limited to signing, so they're not hearing speech and therefore not intimidating it. But the great news is that these boys are only 2 years old, so this is the perfect time for me to do my job as an early interventionist. And now I can go to the family's home where they're most comfortable, so I can work not only with the boys on their speech, but also teach the parents effective techniques to enhance speaking with the children so that they'll be on track with their peers when it's time for them to go to school. And some methods that the parents can use to bridge ASL and English are simultaneous communication, sandwiching, and code switching. With simultaneous communication, or SimCom, the parents can speak while signing part or all of the spoken phrase at the same time. Sandwiching is when you say it, sign it, sign it, say it, sign it, or say it, sign it, say it, while code switching is simply moving back and forth from ASL to English while speaking. But most importantly, what I can't stress enough is that the parents must read to the boys as often as possible, especially since the mom has intelligible speech. And through reading, we can observe the boys' joint attention to assure that they know the words have meaning, and also we can observe how well they're comprehending what is being read to them.
Okay, and I'm the speech language pathologist, Kelsey Lee, and just to go off what Summer was saying, we know from the research done at the University of Illinois in the Deaf Parents and Their Hearing Children study that research shows 5 to 10 hours a week of exposure to a normal hearing speaker is sufficient enough to develop language and speech normally. So on top of the early intervention services, I think it would be advisable for us to look at the grandparents and other extended family members, since there's no other history of deafness, to see if there could be designated times during the week we could get the twins to spend with family to have interactive communication with comfortable communication partners. But to go about doing this, we probably should be careful, because the study also showed that as professionals in these kinds of situations, we tend to go past the deaf parents and deal directly with the hearing family members and the children. And we don't want to leave the parents feeling like they've lost parental authority or create any tensions and boundary problems within the family. But I also think if this isn't an option for family time, we need to look at other options as well.
I also know that children need to be surrounded by children their own age, regardless of their family situations. I've done some research on play and support groups for the family, which have seemed beneficial in more areas than one. It gives the family time to express their concerns with other families in the same situation, and gives the children time to not feel as different, since they're also with children in similar situations. Also, looking into babysitters would really be helpful to expose them to oral language. I can give them some additional information if they seem interested.
Another thing that the Aussie Deaf Kids organization in Australia has done research on is using music as a way to teach kids super segmental parts of speech that these twins are missing at home because their parents aren't speaking. Music is a great way to involve the child and enhance speech and language, and it provides an opportunity for songs carry super segmental parts of speech that they're not picking up at home, like intonation, rhythm, stress, and a whole bunch of other things that go into making up social communication and semantic understanding. Many songs also include rhyme, which is an important literary skill that could also be involved when the parents are reading to the kids. And then certain songs, like songs about body parts or bedtime or bath time routines, can be used to enhance specific language and actions and create a link between words and their actions for the child. So all these things are things that we can keep in mind, especially as the kids are growing up, and they're things that could be used when they're with the parents or in their playgroup or with grandparents or the babysitter or any situation.
This is all really good information I can share with Mrs. Robinson. Let's meet back in 6 months to assess the boys' improvement.